Welcome back to Express, your feel-good breakfast show on this Wednesday, the 25th of April. Today is World Malaria Day, and our special guest today is a man who's been fighting for the cause against malaria, Mr. Kingsley Holgate. And he's been on many great adventures. And so you have quite an extraordinary love for the African continent, which has, prompted you to go on all of these adventures. You're writing your book called Mama Africa. But tell me about what it is that just kind of, burns that fire, or lets that fire burn about Africa in you.
Well, no place like Mama Africa, that's for sure, isn't it? And, we have to realize, yes, sometimes it's different. The Swiss might have developed the clock. Good old Africa owns the time. Not always perfect, always fascinating, always different, and so different. If you just think, let's just, is in Tabas or Katamba, Drakensberg, our own Table Mountain here, the beauty of it all. Kilimanjaro, the highest freestanding mountain in the world. The Sahara, the largest desert. The Namib, most ancient. Walking with the wilderness migration. Yeah. Largest migration of hoofed animals of the Maasai call area.
You were there too?
Serengeti. Just the beauty of this continent.
Amazing stuff. But tell me, there's obviously a lot of adventure, and you speak of the beauty of Africa, but there's been a lot of danger as well in what you've been doing.
Well, I think someone once asked me, what sums up the word expedition or adventure? And I think it is where you're not always sure where you're going to sleep. You don't know what there is around the next bend in the river. You've always got some dangers to contend with, and that's maybe the difference between a holiday and an adventure.
Yeah, and yours are quite risky holidays because you've actually met up with warlords.
We have times of danger, and I think that's par for the course. And I think the worst of the dangers generally, I've been chased by hippo, had a croc, grabbing and munching one of my inflatable boats, those type of things. But really, at the end of the day, I think it's dangers from fellow human beings.
Yeah.
Recently in the Central African Republic, we were grabbed by some rebels. I met the warlord himself. I met the rebel leader. Great big guy. He was like at least, probably close to 7 foot. Wow. With all the tagate and fetishes around his neck, yes. The bits of bone and the bullets and stuff. And scary.
But it's never ever
deterred. Gave him a big hug.
You gave him a big hug. Well, that's the way of starting out a conversation. Hug it out.
Gave him a big hug, and somehow I later met the president in Bangui, did some malaria work with the First Lady. Okay. I consider those situations lucky. Lots of interrogations down the Congo River, those sort of things. People say to me, how do you get by on some of those sort of more difficult ones? And one obviously gets a few tricks up one's sleeve. Mm-hmm. One of them I find with sometimes an aggressive bureaucrat is to suddenly develop a bit of a stutter.
A stutter?
And it confuses people, and off you go.
So you go, and then, wow, that is really amazing.
Point to that cool box and say, would you like a
Wow. So you told me that your kit right now is resting in Nairobi. You are halfway through your journey in this great African Rift Valley expedition that is for the fight. So what happens afterwards? When you get back on the 8th of May, you're flying back again? And then what happens?
It's a great expedition. Mm-hmm. All the way down from Djibouti, the Horn of Africa is not a good area at the moment. Mm-hmm. We've had a few tough times. We climbed a volcano, we zigzagging down the Great African Rift Valley. One of the objectives, of course, was to climb the active volcano of Ertala. Woke up at 2 in the morning, camel to carry the water, hire a few guys with AK-47s. It's right on the border with Eritrea. Wow. You're sort of close to Somaliland, to Djibouti, up at the top, in there in the Horn of Africa. Mm-hmm. And now you're made it to the top, looked down into the molten lava, got down. The warlord who controlled it I don't know, he was a bit upset about things. We paid the agreed amount of money. He stamped on the money. Mm-hmm. People pointed AK-47s at us. We sort of did the peace brother thing, got out of there. Yeah. And unfortunately, the next group that have just been there, a group of geologists from all over the world, 12 killed, 4 kidnapped, the entire area is closed.
Wow. So sometimes, you're very, very lucky to escape.
Well, I think sometimes travel is also windows of opportunity. Yeah. I also think sometimes because we're able to use our adventures to improve and save lives, our fight against malaria, united against malaria, helping mums and kids survive this blood-sucking bite from a tiny little Anopheles mosquito. maybe that also gives the journey a good energy.
Yeah. Well, so we love the work that you do. Congratulations and good luck with the rest of the expedition.
Thank you so
Really
much.
looking forward to tracking it on your website. I know that you blog and you tell us all about it.
Great stuff. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And of course, we can't all be Kingsley Holgates and, track across Africa, but what you can do is support the cause by buying one of these lovely little bracelets. We'll have the details on our website and our Facebook page of where you can get them. Still lots more to come. So inspired by Mr. Kingsley Holgate.
Stay with Expresso and SABC3.